Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, unlike the exercise that was done yesterday, the approach that we adopted in so far as the statements and documents are concerned is that it is not possible to take the chairperson through each and every statement for the following reasons. Some of the persons mentioned in the statements implicated before the Portfolio Committee are also implicated in the proceedings before this commission, and notices have gone out to most of those persons. And it was then suggested, in fact, amongst the legal team, it was decided that with the permission of the chairperson, that what we do today is to simply place the statements before the chairperson without dealing with the contents thereof. That exercise is going to happen when we lead the witnesses of Eskom. We will link the evidence to the statements that we are presenting before you. If that approach is acceptable to the chairperson, may I then begin to place those?
Okay. Yeah,
Thank you.
Let's do that.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, you will find that before you, you have now what is termed Portfolio Committee Statements and Documents that will constitute 9 volumes. And on the spine of each volume, if I may,
Yes, I've got 9.
yes, you've got 9 volumes, yes. If I may just refer you to volume 1, for example. Volume 1 will tell the chairperson what's contained in volume 1, which is the way that the chairperson had suggested that these be marked. The chairperson will see whose evidence was in there. You will have the evidence of Ms. Bianca Goodson, Erica Johnson, Ms. Susan Daniels, Dr. Robert Fine, Mr. Venet Klein, Ms. Vorishni Naidu, and Mr. Brian Mulefe.
Yes, yeah, that's very helpful.
Okay, all right, if you can, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So that is then volume 1, and the chairperson, if the chairperson turns to the very first page of that volume, the chairperson will find the index in there,
Yes.
which will show how many pages that is, and it also tabulates on which days did these witnesses testify.
Yes.
This column, Mr. Chairman, becomes very relevant when you deal with the transcripts, because the transcripts have to be linked to the days that the persons testified on. And then it also depicts the number of pages that are contained in each volume.
Yes.
With your leave, then, I will hand up volume 1 into evidence. Yes.
Thank you very much.
And then may we then move to volume 2, Mr. Chairman? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, okay. That's volume 1 of the Portfolio Committee on Public Enterprises Inquiry.
As Chairperson,
Yeah.
please.
Okay, all
Thank you.
right.
It's a similar exercise, Mr. Chairperson, but just to mention the names of the persons so that any person who had perhaps submitted documents would know that they are being mentioned, and therefore their evidence has been placed before you. The volume 2, also on the index to statements and documents,
Yes.
that one, also the description there, it contains the statements and evidence submitted by Mr. Zola Tsotsi, Minister Lynn Brown, and Mr. Anoj Singh.
Yes.
And also, if the chairperson is satisfied, it also depicts the days that they testify, that they submitted those, and the days they testified, and the number of pages of the documents.
Like volume 1.
That like volume 1.
Yes,
Thank you, Mr.
okay.
Chairman. I beg leave to hand it into evidence. Thank you. Thank you. We move on to volume 3, Mr. Chairperson. Same under index to statements and documents. On the spine of that bundle, the evidence of the statements of Mr. Tsepo Lucky Montana, Mr. Deputy Minister Ben Martins, G9 Consulting Services, Dr. Zweli Mkhize, Mr. Abraham Masango, Dr. Baldwin Ben Ngumane, and Minister Gigaba. Those are also contained, and that runs into from page 916 to page 1323. And the days that they testify are also depicted on the column in the index.
Yes.
If the chairperson is satisfied, I hand that one up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Similarly, Mr. Chairperson, volume 4, the Minister of Public Enterprises, Mr. Koko, Mr. Linnell, Mr. Koma, and Mr. Dumieni also made submissions which are contained in this volume. And this volume runs from page 1,324 up to page 1,707.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. And then the next volume is, Chairman, volume 5. This volume is Mr. Chairman would recall that yesterday you were advised by my learned friend, Mr. Maleka, of a whistleblower witness. This is
Yes.
that witness, and I will not mention the name,
Yeah.
but her evidence is contained in volume 5.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We move on to volume 6.
Yes.
This is a submission from Eskom, Provident and Pension Fund.
Yes.
This related to one issue, which is the issue that relates to Mr. Brian Molefe, but there is a lot of documentation in this volume because court applications and counter applications, some of those documents were also submitted to the portfolio committee, and this information and these statements, they run into 3 volumes. That will be volume 6, volume 7, and volume 8.
Do they include the High Court judgment?
They do not include judgments, but they include some of the papers from the High Court, some answering affidavits, but not the full set.
Yeah, I think there was a judgment, wasn't there?
There was a judgment. It is not
Yes.
included in the bundle.
I think it, for the sake of completeness,
That
it
we
should be
place it in,
included. Yeah, the
as you
judgment.
please.
Then one knows that one can get everything in one place.
Yes, I believe that it's a full bench judgment, which is now before the SCA.
Yeah.
Yes, but we'll make a copy available. to the
Oh,
chambers.
okay, yeah. Then
Yes.
let's have. So there would be a judgment by a single judge, or did it go to 3 judges
went to
from
the
the
full
beginning?
bench.
Or from the
Yes,
beginning?
from full.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
okay. Yeah, no, let's
We'll
have
make that
that.
available
Yeah,
to you.
yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson.
Yes.
Thank you. And then the last volume in respect of the statements and documents is volume 9, which
Yes.
are the submissions from the Eskom board at the time, and Exaro and Eskom Inquiry Reference Book. And those run from page 3169 to page 3378.
Yes.
That then completes the bundles received from the portfolio committee insofar as the statements and documents that were submitted to it.
Okay.
With your leave then, Mr. Chairman, I would like to move to the next bundle that we have.
Yes.
That relates to the transcripts, people that actually gave oral evidence before the portfolio committee.
Yes.
And in line with the
And it
rules.
doesn't look like I have that
You
here.
do, Mr. Chairman, but if I may
Is
just
it
ask the
behind?
registrar to move.
Yeah.
The registrar.
Registrar?
Okay, sorry. If I may just ask you to submit to the chairperson the next, no, not that box, the next one. Yes, thank you again.
Okay, yes. It's 4 volumes, is it right?
It's 4 volumes, Mr. Chairman, and it shows the days on the column in the very first volume 1. It will show day 1 and what
Yes.
date was day 1, 17 October 2017, who was the first person to testify, and we've got the Professor Anton Eberhard. And on the second day,
I think that's
it's better to take them
an
out.
appropriate box should be found where they are. They are not kept properly.
We'll do that. Mr.
Yeah.
Chairman. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And then Professor Anton Eberhard, followed on the following day by Mr. Brian Dames, Ms. Manduka Maisela, and then the 4th person, I will not mention her name,
Yeah.
and Mr. P.S. Marsden, Ms. Bianca Goodson, Mr. Tsidiso Matona.
Yes.
Thank you. And these are the transcripts of their evidence received from Parliament. I beg leave to hand the transcripts in the
Yes.
same manner.
Thank you. Are we not supposed to do the transcripts as exhibits as well
Not yet, Mr. Chairman.
later?
Later, we'll do them when we do the. Yes,
when-
we'll advise you of the plan after
Yeah.
I've submitted all of them, Mr. Chairman, as
Okay.
to how we're going to present them.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, and the reports or not the reports?
And the reports are also, my understanding is that they were not given exhibits. That is the Eskom report.
Yeah, we didn't do them yesterday, but I'm
Yes.
just starting to think
To
now
think that
whether
we should give them exhibits.
But you can all reflect and we can...
And
we
come
can,
back to you.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
thank you, Mr. Chairman.
yeah,
Thank you.
okay.
But so far, the Eskom evidence and the statements, those that will be presented starting from tomorrow,
Yeah.
they will be Exhibit U.
Yeah.
Then we'll perhaps fit in
yeah.
all of these within that exhibit number. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. And then in volume 2, we have the evidence. It shows day 8 and the date of Ms. Solofelo Mulefi, Ms. Suzanne Daniels, Mr. David Fine, Ms. Vinette Klein, Ms. Viroshni Naidu, Mr. Brian Mulefi.
Yes,
I beg leave to also
Yes.
hand this one up.
thank you.
And then volume 3, Mr. Chairman, also shows the witnesses and also on the spine, their names are depicted, Mr. Zola Tsotsi, Ms. Lynn Brown, Mr. Anton Minar, Mr. Zetembe Koza, they also reflected on the spine. I beg leave
Yes.
to hand that up.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. And then the fourth one, for volume 4, Mr. Anuj Singh, Ms. Lynn Brown, Mr. Mohare Segleke, Mr. Lucky Montana, Mr. Ben Martins, Mr. Raji Murugan, and Mr. Machela Koko.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I beg leave to hand up those, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, then to contextualize all these statements, the chairperson will be referred in respect of the witnesses that will be called to the various portions of the statements.
Yes.
The statements, unlike the reports that were submitted to you yesterday by my learned friend, Mr. Maleka, do not relate only to Eskom. They relate to other entities, all public enterprise entities. Therefore, the selection is going to be made as and when a witness is being led, and then that witness's evidence will be tied to a particular statement and to the particular transcript, so as to contextualize their evidence and in line with what the portfolio committee had received.
Okay.
The second thing that the legal team is going to do is to make sure that in order for the chairperson at the end of the inquiries, we will have themes. For instance, if I may
Yeah.
take one witness who talks about, if you take, for instance, the case where a witness talks about Mr. Brian Mulefe, all
Yes.
of those statements and all of those transcripts will be
Yes.
linked together,
Yeah.
so that the one issue that you deal with, you have reference to all
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
That is an exercise, Mr. Chairperson. Unfortunately, that cannot be started and completed now.
Yes.
It can only be done after the last witness on Eskom has testified,
Okay.
and that will be presented to you.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine.
Having said that, then, Mr. Chairman, we believe that that then is all that we need to present to you for today, and with your leave, then that would be the conclusions of today's proceedings.
Yes. Do you have a document, maybe your plan? I need something that gives me an indication of the sequence of the reports and transcript, the various volumes,
Yes.
the sequence of when and how they are going to come up to be used. For
Yes.
example, tomorrow,
Yes.
I just need to know these are the ones that will be
That must be brought up.
that will be relevant for tomorrow, and then same thing about Monday. So if I have that in advance,
Yes.
that would help with
We'll-
preparation.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
Every evidence leader will be advised to do that
Yeah,
a
yeah.
day before a witness is led, that the chairperson is advised.
Yeah,
if
not the day before, because
earlier.
we're talking about, I'm talking more about the existing volumes that you already
oh,
have.
that we already have,
Yeah,
as
to
you
say,
please, yes.
you already know which witness will come when.
Yes.
And then you know which volumes are relevant to which witness.
Yes, I hear
so, So that's what I
You are
need. So
suggesting,
if,
yes.
if it's indicated for that witness, those days, these are the volumes that will be relevant. that will help with the advanced preparation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll definitely do that. Thank you.
So
Yes.
if it's possible to get some time in the next few hours,
We'll attend to it
something
right away.
relating to tomorrow and Monday,
That's correct.
that would be helpful. And then for the rest, if it is also immediately available, that's fine. But if not, maybe if I could have that by tomorrow, that's fine.
We'll definitely send something to you today. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay,
Thank you.
no, that,
Yes.
and of course, if it might need to be amended if later on, some
yes.
other volume that you might not have thought would be important
Relevant,
or
yes.
relevant to that witness, if later on it's realized that it will be important.
Yes, we'll do
Yeah,
that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Yes. Thank
Mr.
you.
Pretorius is not here.
Yes.
Maybe you could mention to him that it is going to be necessary that we place on record
Yes.
the fact that he did convey to Mr. Helens for Mr. Ajay Gupta.
Yes.
He did convey to him what I had asked to be conveyed to him with regard to the request he had made when he last appeared here,
Yeah.
namely the request that the video footage or recording
Yes.
that they had in regard to the inspection local, that I had said that if he sought to pursue that request, certain things would need to
Have to be
happen.
done.
So it's going to be important that that be placed on record. Otherwise, in due course, we all forget what happened.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I will convey that to him.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And then there is an application for leave to cross-examine. I think Minister Gordon, I think by Mr. Moyane.
Yes, there
That
is
was
that
filed.
outstanding. It was
Yeah,
filed. Yes.
that needs to be ripened.
Yes.
And a date be fixed, if it hasn't already been fixed, as to when it will be heard. I'm not aware that there is any other
There is
application.
another application by Ms. Jabulile Sishuba,
Yes.
which I believe must have been forwarded. If it has not been forwarded, the Secretariat I would urge the Secretary to do so,
Yeah.
which was received also this week. But because we had hearings, yes.
Yeah.
Also applying to cross-examine Mr. Agriti.
Yeah,
and-
okay. So
yes.
I think we need to try and fix dates for those.
For those applications.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. We are going to adjourn the proceedings and resume tomorrow at 10 o'clock. I just want to say, I mentioned that we might have to start early on some days and finish at some time in the afternoon on some days. In general, but in particular, I also mentioned that because one of the days we need to have a meeting involving the legal team and the investigators. At this stage, we are looking at that happening on Monday. The meeting starting at 3 o'clock. So the idea is that on Monday we should stop the proceedings not later than 2 o'clock. But then, in order to recoup the 2 hours that we will lose, we have to start maybe early, maybe on Monday at 9 o'clock. And maybe this Friday we could either finish later or start early. Yes. Or maybe for tomorrow that's too late now to indicate that. I'm not sure. Because whatever the witness is, he might just be knowing that he needs to be here at 10 o'clock only. What's your think? Do you think we can say let's start tomorrow early, 9 o'clock, or not?
I'm sorry, Mr. Maleka,
Yeah,
just establishing from
Mm.
the legal team for the witness. Thank you.
I can try and give him a call, but I'll just have to check. He might have arranged something before. I don't have find out whether he could finish
Late.
around 5.
Okay, I think that's better. Thank you. Mr. Malega is just suggesting
Yes.
that maybe if we can't start at 9 o'clock, then tomorrow we finish at 5 instead of
Yeah,
of 4
that's
o'clock,
certainly that.
to make up for the
certainly
1 hour.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we can add and finish at 5.
Yes.
And then on Monday start 9
9
o'clock.
o'clock, yes.
Then we have recouped those 2
Those 2
hours. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay,
We'll
let's
convey
work
that.
on that basis then.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I think Mr. Malega wants to say something.
Chair, I just want to confirm that you do have the statement and annexures of Mr. Mabuza, which is
Yes.
going to be dealt with tomorrow.
Yes,
Is in-
I do have, yeah. I think I received it
Yes.
some time back, yeah.
I think it was given to you already last week.
Yes, yeah, no, I think I've got it, yeah, yeah.
We would also suggest that the reports which were dealt with yesterday
Yes,
should be before you because Mr. Mabuza is going to be taken to
Yeah.
some of them.
yeah, okay, if an indication could be, if I could get an indication whether his evidence will relate to all of them that we dealt with yesterday or only some. If I get that indication, that will be helpful.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, no, that's fine. All right, we'll then adjourn until tomorrow at 10 o'clock. The commission adjourns.
Thank you.